All right, so we're starting at 3:05. We're missing Glenn, but that's okay. He did send, I was happy that he sent me an email and let me know that he wasn't going to be there. All right, so I don't see any people from the public, so we will move on from there. We never have anybody from the public. So we have the minutes from the last couple of times. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at those. Glenn said he approves both of them, so
Great.
he did read them. Charlie, were you able to read the minutes from October and November?
Yes, I have them right in front of me.
Okay, anything you see on there that needs to be amended?
No?
All right, any ladies?
I have a
Okay.
question.
Which one are we looking at?
Bullet 5.
Which, October or November?
No, I'm looking at November.
November, bullet 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
They also discussed a make-ready grant, meaning, I assume Cindy Williams
Yep.
discussed make-ready grant. Who's going to write that grant?
We'll get to that. It's been written. All right.
Oh. That, okay.
yeah, so-
And the other thing, let me see. Okay, well, that's something.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Glenn if he's already, because this project management company called FCON, it's like CVEC, only that it is absolutely private.
Sort of, yeah.
So is Glenn representing Harwich in CVEC now?
He is working on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
he
is-
hasn't-
it's in the process.
It's in the process. yeah.
Okay, very well. So eventually, we could ask for an estimate from CVEC.
I'm not sure CVEC is doing charging stations, but that's a good question. We'll have to ask when we finally have a rep on there.
But it would be stupid if they don't.
Yeah.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it. And no, at the end, it says there would be 4 seminars, each covering a different topic, electricity reduction, blah, 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 blah. We each can send you an email inviting you to meet with us about what we are planning to do.
Okay.
So you don't have to tell me now, but
Okay,
can
yep.
you come? Can you?
Well, when we get to that part in the agenda, let's
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay.
All right, so but anything else that needs to be fixed or changed or anything
No.
that you see on these? Okay, so all in
No.
favor accepting October and November minutes? Aye.
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 Okay, Charlie, can you get both of these sent in?
Should I do any changes to Glenn's?
Nope, nope, it looks good.
I'll send them both in then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
12. Today's the 8th, right? 22. Okay, so that's done. I'm glad because the town likes to have all this stuff, on time.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'll go through the old business. So I met via phone with Dinah.
Good.
And I'm doing the interview the 15th.
The 15th.
14th, excuse me, 14th.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No,
14th at 9 a.m. It is going to be a recorded interview, not a live interview, so it will be like, they'll just put it on a loopy thing, and at some point it'll show up. I don't know when. So basically we've got 10 minutes. It's a short interview. So what she and I talked on the phone are sort of like, what are in a short amount of time, what are the kind of main points for this particular interview do I want to hit?
Right.
Right? So you can't do everything. So I had to pick. So she suggested that we start out by just listing the members. Did you get this email, or I sent this to you in your email? Anyway,
Yeah.
you have it in your email.
Yeah.
I noticed a picture of you, Valerie. You look like your sister.
Well, it was taken a few years ago, but not that long ago. Maybe about 6
Your hair's darker.
Yeah. That's before I started having it highlighted.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so this is the way that the sort of
Yeah.
the
When
main
did you send this?
this late morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look at my emails
Yeah.
early in the morning
Okay, then-
only.
Okay, so you'll have it when you get home.
You're good.
Yeah. So basically, we're just going to list the members,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that are currently members, and then invite anybody else who would like to join us to do that. And then, who are we and what do we do? I just lifted this right from our charge. You know, the
Right. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
expanded the committee,
yeah.
right.
So that's nothing
New.
new. And that won't take very long. And then
Yeah,
upcoming.
you want
Yeah.
to go through that as fast as possible.
Right, and then upcoming events, I'm just plugging our Citizens Energy Academy.
Terrific.
I like the title.
Yeah,
Visibility, it gives visibility to
yeah,
that event.
and you know, and then obviously, we're still fleshing this out, so I didn't give too many details, just said to check your March Council on Aging newsletter.
Right.
And then we get into the nitty-gritty. So my feeling is, because it's December and rates are going up next month, that this is, I just want to get people a heads up. But this
That's
is,
a terrific idea because we need to give visibility to that event.
Right.
Otherwise, nobody will come.
right. So, so then we're gonna switch into the increase in the power rates. So if, so this is Cape Light Compact, this is Eversource, and that's National Grid. We don't have National Grid electricity here on the Cape, so it's basically just Eversource and Cape Light Compact. So Cape Light right now, if you buy electricity from Cape Light Compact, you're paying 16.999. It's going up to 21.699. Eversource is going up to, I don't know what they are now, but they're going up to 25. And National Grid, God forbid, is going up to 33 point something.
Almost 34.
Yeah.
National Grid is gas, right?
They do electricity in some parts of the state.
But National Grid
But-
is my.
Yeah, we have
they're mostly
National
gas.
Grid
That's
gas here. We don't have
horrible.
National Grid electricity here, but they do provide electricity in other parts of the state.
That is going to be brutal.
So this is tough. You know, this is a fairly large jump.
Yeah.
So then the question, of course, is going to be, what happened?
And my question to you, Valerie, is, I learned that Massachusetts has the highest rate in the country.
Except for Hawaii. Yeah.
Is it because we don't have any other means of getting energy, bad gas? And
Yeah,
that's the reason for it?
So that's the next slide. So why are our rates so high? First of all, winter, most electric companies contract 6 months at a time. They contract June to December, December to June, all right? So at the end of every 6 months, they renegotiate, you know, the price. These prices, by the way, the companies that, like Eversource, can't, their rates have got to be approved by the Department of Public Utilities, the DPU. So, I mean, it's not like they can do whatever they want, you know. These rates have to be, they have to present them to DPU and they have to be
And
approved.
what can DPU do? DPU
No,
is
as
the
long as
government.
they have a good rationale for why they're upping the
Right.
price, DPU is going to approve it. So why did they do it? Well, first of all, it is peak season for heating, and so you're very correct about the natural gas. Over 50% of the electricity in New England is generated through natural gas generators. And so in the wintertime, you have the electricity companies trying to generate electricity. At the very same time, we're trying to heat our homes with gas. And so now you have a limited supply of gas and a lot of demand. So it's that whole supply-demand thing, and it's going to go up. The other
Say,
thing, yeah, Charlie?
Valerie,
Yeah?
you know, I know you probably won't like me for this, but I did switch to that Constellation. They do have a 3-year plan that they will guarantee that the rates will be at 17 cents for the next 3 years for the power portion, not the delivery thing. So I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it is something to think about.
Yep.
I did too, Charlie, exactly the same.
I'm going to get to that in a minute, so hang in there.
And a
Okay.
little bit helps.
Yeah, And the other thing is that, things that are totally out of our control, like geopolitical things, the war in Ukraine.
And what about when will the wind production of electricity kick
Not
in?
for a few years.
Yeah.
Oh,
not for a
boy.
few
I
years,
thought it was
yeah.
going to be around the corner.
No, it takes a long time to build those things. And also, we have retired several nuclear power plants and coal-fired power plants. So, and those will be replaced by wind and solar and all of that.
Yeah, but in a few years.
It takes time.
Yeah, but
Um,
I wouldn't want to go back to those days.
Right.
No, no.
And historically speaking, prices do go down in the June to December
Right.
rates. So we'll probably be back down around 16 cents come summer. All right, so that's that. So what can you do to lower your electricity costs? I'm plugging, energy audits, sign up for Cape Light Compact energy audits, get your lights replaced with LEDs, get better insulation, do what you can to, make your house more efficient. When it comes time to buy an appliance, make sure you get the most efficient you can
Energy
afford.
Star, yeah.
Energy Star appliances. And don't forget to check the Cape Light Compact website for rebates. And I have an example, like if you want to get rid of a refrigerator or a freezer, they will come and get it for free. They'll take it out for you and give you $75 towards the purchase of your new one.
And
Which
what other
hopefully will-
requirements?
Nothing. They just call them up, they come and get it, they give you $75.
And what is the interest of, in the part of Cape Light Compact to offer that service?
This is, well, because you're switching an old energy
Inefficient.
inefficient appliance for
Okay.
a newer, more
Efficient.
efficient appliance. And things like refrigerators, air conditioners, old ones are really bad.
Yeah.
They're really bad they're not very efficient at all. So anyway, so they have,
Dishwashers too.
yeah, they have they have a rebate program for humidifiers, dehumidifiers, air conditioners, freezers, refrigerators. There's a lot of appliances that you can get. They'll come and get the old one and give you money to.
No
And-
questions asked?
No questions asked.
And
So
always-
if I want to replace my air conditioner,
Yeah.
holy moly.
Yeah, they'll take the old one and give you you'll have to look on I don't know what the dollar, you have to go on the website and see what it is.
Doesn't matter, but.
And then you can use that towards the purchase of your newer one, which hopefully will be more efficient.
Yes.
And then to plug the, it's called LIHEAP, LIHEAP, which is a weird acronym for Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. And that's a state-run program for people,
Oh, okay. I
And what
see.
is low income? What kind of,
They have a grid, they have a chart.
oh, I see. Okay. And what does enhanced residential mean?
well, you just make a little more money, so you don't get quite the same benefit, but you get some benefit.
Ah, okay.
You know, you
But
do-
why not use simple words? Because otherwise, I'm like people.
You are not like people, there's nobody like you. I understand what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes.
I understand what you're
Make
saying.
it better.
Yeah, and that's, and to me, that's one of the problems that those of us in energy/climate have to fight all the time is the
Acronymism?
the energy wonks and the government people and even the scientists. They all have their language.
And their acronyms, oh my God.
And it's like it's really hard,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes to. And here we go, Charlie. So another thing we're going to be talking about is what if an electric supply company calls with a better rate? Should I sign up?
Valerie,
Yeah?
they didn't call me. I was told by my brother and all of his family they're all switching, and I inquired. They're not pushing this. You have to go after them to find out about it.
Yeah. No, and you can Google it, and there's several websites that have like big tables of comparisons. Like you can get like 6 different companies, and they'll tell you like how much they're charging and what the contract is, and so there's lots of places you can get this information. And here's what I'm going to say. All right. So in Massachusetts, electricity was deregulated in 1997. Before that, the power companies were like big monopolies. You didn't have much of a choice. So they deregulated it in Massachusetts, and what that meant, in the old days, Eversource made the electricity, delivered the electricity, they did everything. And so the Massachusetts said, nope, you can either own the poles and wires, or you can make the electricity, you can't do both. And so we have deregulation. That's when Cape Light Compact was formed, and a lot of other companies like Viridian or whatever you guys were talking about, that gave them the opportunity to form a business. But here's what I always tell people. Some of the contracts are quite long. Like you said yours was 3 years?
Yes.
Yes, 3 years.
So what happens if, you say you're paying 17 cents?
Yes.
Yes.
So what happens if a year from now it goes down to 15 cents?
You pay $150 penalty and go back to whatever.
Okay, so that was my second thing, is that you have to look at the length of the contract and look at the termination cost. Somebody called me the other day. I've gotten, I can't tell you how many phone calls about this, because everybody's looking for new companies now. His termination fee is $150, and in the end, he's paying a penny more. He didn't do his research, and he's in a year-long contract for a penny more than what Cape Light Compact is charging, and to get out of it, it would cost him $150.
Well, I think Constellation, and I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot, it's dealing with volume. Because Charlie went in, I went in, and there are millions who went in.
Yeah, and so that, all I say is, always look at your contract. Some of them have, I'm not saying your company, I'm saying some of these companies that I've heard of, they have teaser rates. They'll tell you, they'll way undercut, and then if you haven't read the fine print, those low rates only last for 3 months or 4 months, and then boom, you're paying some ridiculous amount of money. I'm not saying you, Charlie, I'm just saying other companies.
There are
Valerie,
Yeah?
they're also, if you ask them for it, they're also giving you a $75 gift card for signing up, so that offsets the $150 thing. You have to ask them for that. They don't tell you about that ahead of time.
And then I always tell people, and this is, some companies are not very ethical. Some are fine. They're perfectly fine companies, or they do business, they're above board, they're ethical. Some are not. And it's hard for the average person to figure out who is who.
And sometimes the unethicalness is very subtle.
It is.
Of course,
it is.
most of the time.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people don't see that.
And they often will prey on older people. No offense to us that are older, but some older people can be vulnerable. And
of course, it's very difficult.
So let's suppose if you get a phone call from an electric company wanting you to switch to them, never, never, never give your account number over the phone.
I don't.
Just say,
Valerie,
mail me what you've got.
Valerie, I agree with everything you're saying, but I approached them. They didn't.
I'm not
approach
talking
me.
about you, Charlie. I'm talking about other companies. Your company sounds fine, but there are many, many companies out there. Some of them are not that ethical. And so on when I'm being interviewed, I just want people to be careful.
Absolutely.
Look for a better price, but be
Educate
careful
yourself.
because it's a wild west out there when it comes to these energy companies. So make sure you get everything in writing before you give out your account number.
And in doubt, call Cape Light Compact.
And that's it. And if you want questions answered, Cape Light Compact, what makes them different is they are nonprofit, they are municipal aggregate, they are the towns, basically. So it's kind of like calling your own town hall. I mean, all the towns on the Cape go into making Cape Light Compact. They can help you determine if is this a good deal, is this a bad deal, The other thing...
Valerie?
Yes, Charlie?
I tried to call Cape Light Compact on 2 occasions, and I asked them if they're mostly powered by wind and solar, why does the price of natural gas affect their price? And they said that's because all the power is going up on that amount. So I couldn't get a good answer from them. If they're primarily generating green power, why the price of natural gas would have anything to do with their price?
Well, we've had this discussion before, and it's because currently, there is not enough green power in the grid to make a difference.
Yeah,
So
so
we are getting power from Cape Light Compact that is considered green because the company Next Era is paying for RECs, renewable energy credits.
Yeah, 3% is the solar
Yeah. So
electricity that Massachusetts gets.
Yeah.
3%.
yeah, I mean
Nothing.
it's going to get better, but it's just that whole time factor. So
Yeah.
Charlie, we are not necessarily getting our electricity from wind farms because think about it, there are no wind farms, and there are very few large-scale solar in New England. So New England gas is made 50% by gas. Next Era, the Cape Light Compact company, they pay for RECs, and that money goes to further the renewable energy. So that money can be used by other companies to build wind turbines, build solar farms, and improve the amount of green energy available. That doesn't mean we are getting our electricity from green sources, because there are none. And if there's a company that's telling you that they're all green, that's a lie, because we don't have enough of that in our mix at this moment. And so I don't know if your company buys RECs or if they consider themselves green or not, but that's some people, that makes a difference to them, and so they would want to stick with a company that is green.
I would suspect that if the price of oil and gas is going up, and that this Constellation or NextEra or whatever, if they have a big proportion of their power generated by solar or wind turbines, and this company is more southern based. Well, of course, NextEra is Florida based, but this place is down in Maryland. That perhaps they can sell the power at a lower rate if they have more green power.
Well, green power is not cheaper. At this moment in time, green power is just, at best, equal to gas-generated electricity. Sometimes it's more expensive. Most of the times, it's more expensive. So we're not at the point where green energy is giving us any kind of a bargain. We're not there yet.
I didn't realize that. I thought
No.
wind and sun was free.
But not the building of the turbines or the building of the solar farms or the land that they sit on or the people that maintain them and build them.
Yeah, the amount produced is not enough to satisfy the
Right.
need.
We
Yeah,
are,
but he's talking about the cost.
yeah, the fuel is free. I mean, the wind and the sun are free, but not everything else associated with it.
Yeah, you're thinking of the residential situation like mine,
Yeah,
because for me it's all win-win.
yeah.
But I'm a minute freckle in the
Right.
whole system.
So, Charlie, the hope is that we will, in fact, replace our fossil fuels with renewables. And the good news is once a wind farm is built, then the fuel is free from there on out, right? You just have to
Right.
pay your maintenance. But we're not there yet. The wind farms that are going off of Martha's Vineyard now, they put in they laid cable recently. So, I mean, things are happening, but it's going to be several years before those turbines are spinning and making electricity.
Are they
I
going-
think as part of your presentation, you ought to present that look, it's not going to be like this forever.
Right.
It's going to change, and we have the plans in place to change it.
Good idea, Charlie, yeah.
And the wind farms or turbines are going to be floating or
These are in the ground.
in the ground? Okay.
They're putting floating ones in in the North Sea. It's going to be the first
Yeah, I read about it.
ocean-based floating
Yeah.
wind farm. That's going to be interesting.
I think it's, from what I read, is less expensive and faster.
It's faster. It's a little less expensive. No, I don't think it's less expensive though, because I think that it's very complicated to get these things to stay put and to.
Yeah, really.
But you can put them
They're
so
putting them
far
up in
out
mid-year.
Yeah,
that you can take advantage of really high winds,
Yeah, yeah.
and nobody can see them
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, and hear them
or hear them,
Yeah.
and nobody knows they're even there.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
phenomenal.
Wow. Sheesh.
So
And-
anyway, I think what we just talked about, you can look at this when you get home. I think that's gonna take up all of the 10 minutes.
Oh, golly, yeah.
Of course.
Talk fast.
Yeah, and Dinah is very good at directing, you know, directing the conversation so so you
To
get
the
to say
substance.
Yeah, and she was very interested in this, and she wants to do it some more. Yeah,
Periodically?
periodically, you know, we could brainstorm and pick another topic, we could pick, I don't know, solar, you know, and we could just do the whole 10 minutes on solar, or
Yeah.
whatever, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah,
we'll
educating
come.
about solar, I think it's important
Yeah.
because there are people abusing people out there.
Well, look at what happened in Yarmouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Poor people.
Take the money and run.
Take the money and run, and I think that, well, you know, that's just, that happens. You know, that happens with people building their
Human nature.
houses, that happens with.
Human nature,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and Dinah is a really good ally for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Now, we did have a discussion about those darn videos.
Mhm.
Does the Harwich Climate Action Committee have a website?
The
Yes.
Climate Action Network?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
does
No,
Harwich have their own, or are you all like part of the whole, I know there's a Cape Cod Climate Action Network, and then you guys are part of the Harwich Climate Action.
Which is affiliated with the Cape Cod Climate Change Collaborative.
Okay,
Yeah.
We have-
There's
we-
where we have a site.
Yeah.
okay, that's a website?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now, I am inactive right now, so I'm not gonna talk for the network.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, so here's what Dinah suggested, is if you can upload those videos to that website,
Okay.
we would be happy to put the URL on the screen, you know, for people to access. Because we're never gonna get, the town can't allow us to, the town websites are very restricted, you know, because if it says Town of Harwich on it, we can't do whatever we want on those. They're never meant to be really that user-friendly, they're just to give out information.
So was that the reason why it couldn't go on?
Exactly, you know.
Well, then,
yeah.
why not just say it?
So if,
Well, I missed that. Can you say it
well,
briefly?
it's been, I think Roseanne has felt like she's being stonewalled, you know, with the
Mhm.
video
Yeah, I
thing.
remember.
But I think people were just, didn't quite know what to do with it.
Mhm.
And so I just made the command decision that we are going to find a place for these videos to live, and we will promote that website.
Okay, yeah, if
Sounds like a good idea, Valerie.
Yeah.
yeah. First of all, I just have to say that I expended so much energy.
I know.
And I'm still that
Mhm.
it wasn't a clear, I'm sorry, but this is blah, blah,
Can't do
blah,
it, yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, okay?
Yeah.
Harwich Climate Action Network has a webpage on.
Even that, you know, would be.
Okay,
that
okay, and.
Just can't be the town webpage.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so if you want to I can communicate to Deborah and Robin and those guys about this. Would that be okay?
Of course it's okay.
No, well,
I mean, I don't have
because I'm-
prerogative.
No,
Go
I'm just asking because I am inactive right now, but I am in communication. I mean, I just saw Robin about a week ago, so I would be glad to
Yeah.
take responsibility.
And as soon as you have that clarified,
Mm-hmm,
just send me the link,
mm-hmm.
and I'll make sure it gets on the Channel 18 presentation.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
the link to the.
To the videos.
To the videos or to?
To your, I
Our
can
site.
explain that this, your
Our
web,
site.
the Harwich Climate Action
Webpage.
webpage has
has
these
the-
wonderful videos. You should check it out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Okay,
Could you send the website link to all of us so
oh
we
yeah,
can all
yeah,
take
yeah,
a look
yeah.
at it?
When you finally get it organized, just send it out to everybody, and I'll make sure it gets. If I get it before December
Before the
14th,
14th.
yeah. If
Um,
not, we can do it on a subsequent.
yeah,
Interview.
after
Yeah.
this weekend, my time is freed up, just the next few days are
Right,
just
right.
like,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I think we can, and hopefully they'll be amenable to that, and
Great,
Okay, so I think that's that one.
wonderful.
Okay, EV charging stations. All right, so I don't know if you saw the latest Board of Selectmen meeting, but I was there. And,
That was 3 days ago.
yeah,
Yeah, I was doing the DEP thing.
yeah. So, EvCon, which is, they're not necessarily a local company, but Luther Bates, the guy that runs it, is local.
Right,
And he runs the Nines Gallery here in
Right.
Harwich Port, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, they approached us. I've been working with Cindy, we talked about this last time. And so
Right.
this is the first step to getting EV chargers. It's the application that goes to Eversource to trigger Eversource to approve your site. Because Eversource has to tell you, can it even happen here?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so if you say, oh, I want 6 charging stations right
Yeah, yeah.
there,
Right.
is there really enough
Yeah,
electricity?
that's what Glenn explained to us
Yeah,
the
in
last
that
time.
area, and so this is what's going to make them do it.
Okay.
And so there was an interesting discussion at town meeting.
At
Why?
town- At the selectmen's.
I mean,
meeting.
I keep saying town meeting, it's Board of
okay.
Selectmen.
Yeah,
So
PPOS.
when I talked to Luther, when Cindy and I talked to Luther, we've talked to them several times, we keep telling them, this is a municipal project.
Right,
Municipal projects have layer upon layer upon layer of bureaucracy, you know, so you have to understand that nothing's going to happen
It's
fast.
difficult to understand
Yeah,
at first.
until you get into it. And this company has never done a municipal project.
Right.
They've done lots of private projects, and even
Yeah.
big ones, you know,
Right.
like for corporations and things,
Yeah.
but never municipal. So they're learning with us, you know, as
Okay.
far as we did. So what happened was, Luther sent me this, all right? And in this little box right here, it says that EvCon is our contractor.
right,
Well, they were doing this pro bono. They're not charging, EvCon hasn't, not charging us for anything yet.
No, they're opening a door.
They're opening a door,
Yeah.
so.
Right, right.
But Joe Powers says, whoa, wait a minute.
He has a
We-
bureaucratic mentality.
Yeah, he said, we cannot say that EvCon is the town of Harwich contractor, because we have not, the selectmen, we've not approved that. So they're not against it. So all they did was they just took EvCon off the application, put town of Harwich in, and sent it in.
Well,
So-
terrific.
So it's got sent in, it
course.
just got sent in
Well,
under
terrific.
town of Harwich, not
moving.
under EvCon.
Yeah.
And so I stood up there and I said, great, I said, 100% understand why you're changing this.
right.
Luther was a little
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, but
Well-
I said, I get it. I said, but here's my problem. I said, who's gonna follow up on this? Who is going to take responsibility? Because if we left EvCon on there, obviously Luther would, and
Of
he's got
course.
a lot of incentive to follow up.
Right. Clear,
But
clear,
he's out of
clear.
it now.
Yeah.
Right? So I stood up there and said, who's going to do it? Who is going to be responsible for
Good
following
for
up
you,
on this?
Valerie.
You know, and so
What did they say?
Joe Powers pointed right at Julie, and she said it's her responsibility.
Oh, boy.
Julie Kavanaugh?
Julie Kavanaugh.
So you will have to be behind Julie,
Yep.
So,
and you
And-
will have to work with Luther.
Well, what's going to happen now is
Indirectly.
this will hopefully get approved. You know, Eversource will say, oh yeah, that's okay. You can have charging stations there. Then we have to put out bids. And EvCon definitely can be a bidder.
Of course.
You know, and we can help EvCon on the side, write their proposal to be very friendly to Harwich.
you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, it's
so-
we're opening a door
So,
for
hopefully.
him and for us.
Right, so here's the tricky part, and this is something that Luther had to kind of get his head wrapped around, and that, it's not gonna be free, so the town has to commit
Oh,
some
sure.
money, and when the bids come in, we will know kind of what money we're talking about, but it's gonna be close to like $100,000 to get like six
An
charging.
estimate?
That's a
For how
very,
many for 100,000?
about six.
But
Okay.
the cost, what would be the cost of the estimate? Is the estimate free?
I think I think EVCON will do it for free. I mean, when you present. when
Because
you-
if I
what-
recall correctly, CVEC does not do anything for free, not even an estimate.
Well, CVEC, they're
A different animal.
they're a different animal.
Yes, I know,
And they do
but
everything for free. They just, when something happens, they have to charge a little bit to keep their office going. Now, because they're just like Cape Light Compact, they are a municipal entity.
yeah, but apparently they are not completely free because even Valentine told me that CVEC was not clear with our numbers.
Well, I'm not even talking
This
about
is
CVAC right now,
confusing
because
me.
remember, they're taking a break. Remember that when she came in to talk to us, she said they're not doing anything right now, and until we
Yeah.
get Glenn
So
looped in with them and we can get some more information,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah,
So
I-
anyway, so the RFPs, usually when you present an RFP, you don't charge the people that you're applying to. So, RFPs are free,
Good.
I'm a company, I
Of
want to
course.
bid
Of course.
on a job. I'm not gonna charge you for my bid.
But my understanding is that happens
Well-
in municipalities.
Well, we'll see. I don't think it will, but, so anyway, so we'll get some bids in. We have to expect that it's gonna be a number that will require town meeting. Because, we cannot
course.
encumber,
Of course.
it's gonna have to go through a finance committee, it's gonna have to be put in an article, blah, blah, blah.
But it has to be done by sometime in February.
Well, we are under the gun,
Oh.
so,
Yeah, it
we-
takes months
Right,
to
right,
get something on the
Right.
warrant.
So anyway, so that's kind of where we are right now. We'll hear from Eversource. If they say, yes, this is a perfect spot, go ahead, then we can put out an RFP and work on that. Now,
That's
here's the
terrific.
good news. Here's the good news. Because there's a lot of money floating around out there. Somebody like EVCON, that's their specialty, finding that money. So let's
That's
suppose.
terrific.
So let's suppose it costs $150,000. I'm just throwing that. I have no idea,
Sure.
but let's suppose it
Sure.
does. Eversource has their own grant source. So let's suppose it cost Eversource $90,000 to actually run the wires to the parking lot, under the ground, create those stations. Eversource won't charge for that. So that $90,000 will be absorbed by Eversource because they're getting a grant from the government for 90. That's that Make Ready program.
I get
Is
it.
that the same as the state grants that we missed out on last year?
Everything's
that-
changing now because of the new legislation, so I don't know.
I know,
Yeah.
but I remember when we discussed that quite a few months ago. I
Yeah.
think Julie was the one that brought
Right,
it up.
right, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we.
But there's even more money now, because we have new legislation.
But
Right.
it isn't like it is free for, that Eversource is not charging. They are getting paid.
Oh, they'll be
get
reimbursed
paid,
100%.
But not by us.
But not by us, by another
And
grant
that's
program.
a super deal for
Yeah.
us, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now we're to what we have to pay, because so now we have to buy this charging stations and have somebody install them. That's gonna cost money.
So,
And so
So
that is where
we-
we hope to get other grant money that will
I-
offset. So
okay.
let's suppose we go to, and this is what Luther has a hard time understanding. Because we are a municipality, if a bid comes in at $150,000, even though in the back of our minds, we know we will never pay that because we're gonna get grants, we have to encumber $150,000 at town meeting. We
encumber
don't
means
have,
compromise?
encumber means to set aside and
Budget.
Budget,
Budget, right, there you go.
Even if we know we're never gonna spend that.
Okay.
Whatever we don't use will just go back,
Right,
into the
right,
coffers.
but
But
we can't just-
legally,
Right,
we have to
right.
cover whatever
Cover our
contract cost so if we sign a contract with whatever, EVCON or whoever, and the bill is $150,000, we have to encumber that, even though we hope down the road, we're gonna chip away at that and get grants and stuff and make
And
it.
then it'll revert back to the town.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's,
It makes
Yeah.
it very difficult to manage.
yeah, well, it's
Well,
not
it's
difficult, it's just
it's a
you
lot
have
of
to
work.
understand the system, that.
Yeah,
this-
but the
yeah.
timings.
Yeah, well, the timing, there's nothing we can do about the timing. Eversource will get back to us. You can imagine there's a lot of applications going in, so I don't know if Eversource is notorious for being slow on these
Slow.
things. But hopefully that we'll get something back soon and we can move forward with
What
that.
I like is Luther is private. The guy's going to move.
He's very motivated. Julie, Cindy, and I are meeting tomorrow
Oh, great.
to help sort of continue this discussion, mainly for Julie's sake, because
Yeah,
remember Joe
terrific.
said, you're in charge.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, because I
Controlling mentality.
I forced the issue. I said, somebody
Controlling.
needs,
So what?
but she's our liaison, and so,
Oh, okay,
so it's the logical choice.
Of course, of course.
You
Yeah,
know,
of course,
it's-
okay, okay.
you know?
It sounds so
But
weird.
involving someone who is super, super busy is, to me, is
Well, that's where
useless.
Cindy and I will have to,
Yeah, be very tactful and.
just, and be helpful. I mean, I'll
Of course.
tell Julie, I said, make sure that you let us know what we can do. And
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
I have a question. Do we as a committee have to be prepared to put together a warrant article?
I think we can have input into the warrant article,
But who
but,
d-
but I don't think we need to do it. I mean,
Who would
I
do
think
it?
ultimately it'd be the finance committee, because what we're gonna have to do, once, blah, 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 we get, it's a multi-step process.
Right.
Once we get RFPs, and the Board of Selectmen have to choose which which
Yeah.
bid they're gonna take.
Oh, okay,
And so once the selectmen have chosen the bid,
right.
and it has a number associated with it, then that goes to the finance committee, and they have to say yay or nay, right?
Okay, and the only reason I'm used to the citizen-produced warrant articles, which I've been.
Yeah, this would
involved
be a town produced one.
Okay,
And-
got it.
Yeah, yeah. So-
Valerie?
Yes,
do-
Charlie?
Do we have to present it to the finance committee?
Maybe, I don't know, that's kind of far down the road, but I would think that at some point, somebody has to justify it, and come up, and do that, so.
Well, if you just send it down to them without going there yourself and trying to convince them,
Oh,
you may not get.
Yeah, we would not do that. We would not do that, we'll get on their radar and make sure that we do a presentation.
Yeah.
So that's the charging station. So
Well,
that-
that's
at least-
terrific
At
because
least
it's
something
moving.
happened there. It
Oh,
got
yeah, I
sent
love
in.
it. It's moving.
It's moving.
Okay,
All right,
next.
what's next?
The
Citizens Energy Academy, okay, so.
What a pompous name.
I love it.
I just wanted something that sounded different. I'm not gonna, energy seminar, who's gonna go to that?
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
you're right, you're
Yeah.
right. You have to make it something.
Hey, I'm a senior and I'm important.
Yeah, so, the March 7th, our first one, I think that should be the Energy Committee doing that one, right? So we're gonna be just talking about general energy stuff in Harwich, blah, blah, blah. On March 14th, which will be the second one, remember, it's every Tuesday in March, I have somebody from Cape Light Compact who's already committed to speaking on that one. And they're gonna talk about energy audits, lighting,
This is the
installation.
kind of thing I would like to,
Yeah.
for you to bring up at our
Right.
meeting, the HCAN
Right,
meeting.
but for the third one, March 21st, I would like the HCAN to sort of take that one over.
Okay, and that fits in with the whole educational focus that HCAN is
Absolutely,
is
we
doing.
have talked about it already.
Yeah, no,
We
because
discussed it.
yeah, because Robin filled me in.
So if you could do the March 21st one,
21st, not 23rd.
well, I don't have my,
It's
Calendar.
Should be the 21st.
yeah.
And it's a
the-
Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday, yeah, it would
Well,
be the
okay, don't worry,
third
I'll look it up.
Tuesday, the third Tuesday of March,
Yes.
in 2023.
1, 2, 3, yes.
yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
So that would be, that particular seminar would be devoted to climate change.
Ah, thank you.
And so, but I'd kind of like not to get too abstract. This particular one would, to spend only a nanosecond on the causes of climate change.
The scientific
Yeah,
board
yeah,
stuff.
because people will glaze
Over,
over.
yeah.
Yeah. Just a couple of minutes to kind of set the stage, but really I'm looking at how is it affecting us? Because I think that I'm trying to make it accessible to the average Harwich citizen, you know, and so.
That's a good idea.
And I think that there's so many resources out there, you know, APCC and all those places that have good local information.
HCT.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
so that kind of thing. And we don't want to ever leave people wanting to slit their throat when they leave. So you want to end on an upbeat. So what are some of the good things that are happening and have happened, you know, and what are some of the sort of rays of hope that we can have that this thing, that we can do something about it and something is being done about it, and how can you help, you know, that type of thing.
Okay.
So and so hopefully, you know, that'll be good. We do have a projector. The COA has a projector. I have a computer, or if you have your own computer, you can bring it.
Valerie?
Yeah, Charlie?
Maybe could I ask them to prepare an outline similar to what you just did for the first one there, so that
Yeah, what?
we have some input into whether they're going in too deep or they're
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
at
yeah.
the
We
level
can.
you
We'll.
want.
Yeah, we'll be talking about it well in advance, and what I'm going to be giving. Who is it? Julie over at
Julie
Charles-
Wittes?
Yeah, she wants like a little blurb about each one, very to
For
put
the
in the
newsletter.
newsletter.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like a little something interesting. You know
Yeah.
about.
Would you spell the name of the lady again?
TAS.
T-A-S.
TAS.
Vitas.
T
Yeah,
as in
well,
Yeah, it's a
tea.
weird name. But that will be done at the, you know, because she needs that for her newsletter, which probably needs it in February, in order
Yeah,
to
'cause
get
it's
into the March.
January, February, yeah, March, April.
So it would, so we have to be solid on all of this
Of
by
course.
February, you know,
Of
so.
course, of
And then for the last one on the 28th, I am trying to get, I'm trying to get either Megan Amsler from Cape and Islands Self-Reliance. She speaks worldwide on wind energy. She is like an
Fantastic.
expert on wind energy.
Yeah.
She's working with,
I have heard her.
yeah,
I have heard her many
Yeah,
times,
you've
but I cannot
mentioned her
picture
name.
her
yeah, she's,
right this minute.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, if she can't do it, or she, and I also called Julian Sears' office. And if we could get Julian Sears here to
yeah.
talk about like the legislation, you know, what is
Yeah.
that going to mean
That's a
for-
super idea,
and
Valerie.
they got back to me and they said, unfortunately, it's too far out. They can't commit that far out.
Yeah, but it's
so-
super.
Yeah.
I mean, super interesting for
Yeah.
Julian's here to stay visible and
Yeah.
talking to people.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I'm sure that will be manageable.
So right now, that's where we stand.
That's
So we'll keep working.
Wonderful.
So I think this, the second seminar, the March 14th, Cape Light Compact will take care of the whole thing. They do this all the time, you know, so they're.
Do you know who from Cape Lacon?
I do, it
You
won't
said
be
Maggie-
Maggie, it'll,
Margaret?
no, it's one of the newer guys. He's nice though, I've met him. He's very personable, very, you know, interesting guy. But I don't have his name in
It's
front of
okay.
me right now.
Okay, it's okay.
But anyway, and then, so we're gonna have to, because we're doing the first one, so we'll talk more about that, next
we will
month,
learn.
you know.
We will learn.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can meet with,
Yeah, but keep this because I need a
Okay.
reply.
okay.
Where we don't know. We suggested 2 dates, and if none of them work, well, let us know. But
Okay. Can I just get back to you?
Of course.
Okay.
And you said these are Tuesdays? Okay.
Well, these are all Tuesdays.
Yeah,
The-
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I will keep you posted on the wind thing and Julian Sears and all of that kind
Blah
of
blah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe Jacqueline let Deborah know, because you know her schedule is kind of a Monday through Thursday she sees clients, so that if she knows enough ahead of time.
Well,
She
we're in
could-
December and we're already talking. So-
No, when I'm saying, but I'm thinking specifically of Deborah because of her schedule, that she sees clients from Monday through Thursday. So
Yeah.
if she knows enough ahead of time, that particular Tuesday, at that particular time.
Well, she
can-
would learn it tomorrow morning
Yeah, all-
because I'll type.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
These- And
that's
they're
great.
all from 11 to noon, you know,
Okay.
so they start at 11 a.m. and they go till noon. So
Okay.
we're talking an hour.
An hour.
Yeah. And if possible, try to leave 5 or 10 minutes at the end for people to ask questions and that type of thing. And who knows, I mean, people may hang around and talk, you know,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, well, as
Yeah.
long as some of us are around,
Exactly,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
you know. And I think to the best of our ability,
Mhm.
I think we should attend all of these.
Oh, yeah.
But if something comes up, you know, let
I'm
us
right
know.
up the street, I have
Yeah.
no excuse.
Alrighty,
Okay.
so we covered that one.
It will be a super learning process for us.
Yeah, and I think,
We will get a feeling for the town.
yep, yep. And I
Yeah.
think March is kind of a good time of year.
Yes.
Summer crazy hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Hopefully the big snowstorms have stopped,
Hopefully.
Yes, yes, if they come,
if they come.
Mhm.
You know, so, and March is a real long, boring month,
absolutely.
Nothing
know,
else going on.
so.
Yeah, true.
And, you know,
Yeah, it's a
we can
perfect month.
make a poster to
And
put up
people
at
are
the.
waking up from the winter.
Exactly, exactly. And, you know, April is, you know, Earth Day and all that, and so, you know, hopefully we can play off of that. All right, the
Okay.
last thing on old business is this community solar. Very interesting thing that happened. So Megan Ansler calls me and says, because I was asking her about community solar, and so she said, do you have a place that can be developed for a solar farm? And I said, well, we had to have a place because that was part of the criteria for becoming a green community. You have to set aside, I don't know if you remember that, but
Right.
we had to set aside a spot. This is our spot.
With whom were you talking again?
Megan Amsler.
Oh, okay.
So this is our spot. It's by the dump.
Okay, right. Yeah, that's, okay. Wasn't there a funny name for it?
I don't remember.
Can I look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valerie?
Yeah?
Was it the place across the street where the trees are, or was it the same side as where the other solar farm is?
According to this map,
There was some discussion about cutting down trees.
yeah, well,
if you put it
that's
across the
exactly,
street.
No.
it does have trees. So, but here's what happened, so, and this is an issue that I think we need to address. So, somebody approached Megan about finding a place to put up some community solar here on the Cape. Megan called me thinking, oh, you know, this is available on the town website, by the way.
Okay, well, yeah.
So she called me. So this company, who was willing to, you know, invest, went and looked at this and said, can't do it, too many trees. So we have
Oh, boy.
designated a piece of property for solar development that will never be developed into solar because
Because of the
nobody
trees.
wants to cut all those trees down to put up a solar farm.
That's right.
Of course.
So-
That
I
makes
thought they were
sense.
gonna switch it to across the street where the other solar farm is.
Well, that's what I'm going to have to find out.
Here it is.
Is I'm going to have to make an appointment to talk to somebody and find out exactly what's going on with it.
This land belongs to whom?
Town,
The town.
yeah. But it's designated only for renewable
So the town
energy.
planner would be the person.
Yeah, I mean, once the person gets here and is settled. But I am going to try to figure out if it got changed.
This is Harwich as of right.
Sighting.
209 Queen, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you go back and look at the original thing that was voted on? I think they had a plot in there, as I recall.
Well, I'm looking at one right now. So, but like I said, I don't know. I have
I think
to.
this is the one.
I'll
that-
have to go to the assessors and get get the most up to date parcel designation. So anyway, the guy said, no, he wasn't interested because he wasn't gonna cut down trees to put up a solar
Well,
farm.
I'm
Well,
very glad.
that's good, yes.
Right. But the point is, we missed out an opportunity to have community solar.
Yeah.
So if we truly want to have community solar, we probably should make sure that this as of right spot, which is, we got to have it anyway, you know, is something that's already cleared,
Yes.
that would not require a lot of tree cutting.
Valerie,
Yeah?
there's a whole huge lot that's off of, I think it's Route 39, where this guy by the name of Cuddy, he told me he was trying to talk to the town about using that for a solar farm. It's all, they dumping dirt in there. There's no trees back in there. He owns the land. This was a couple of years ago. I never heard anything about it, but I know where all the dump trucks go off of 39 there to dump dirt. It's always between the circle and 137. It's on the left-hand side as you're going north.
Yeah, but what we're looking at right now is a piece of municipal land that could be leased so that the electricity could be used for community solar. I mean, I guess if anybody owns a big chunk of land, if they get the right zoning and the right permission, they could create their own solar
Lease it.
farm if they want.
Of course.
But it's pretty expensive, you know, to build a solar farm. And so there are people who specialize in this, and because they have that development money. And so what they do is they come in and they pay for everything. You know, they pay for the grading of the land, the infrastructure, the connecting to Eversource, blah, blah, blah. And in return, they get all the renewable energy credits, the tax credits, the, you know,
But
blah.
CVEC did,
Valerie,
Yeah.
maybe the town could do a trade with this guy here and use that land if they
Well-
can't use the land.
Right. And you know, the old Marceline land, that, I mean, that's sitting up there off of, by Headwaters, you know,
but
and
aren't they going to build
that's-
affordable housing?
I don't
No,
think so.
that's across the
Yeah,
road.
yeah,
It's-
but anyway,
it's
so
not
the-
where he used to have all his
the
junk.
junk, yeah. But anyway, the point being is that I think we need to have a discussion on finding a really good spot. Because if we could find a good spot
And
with
who
no
could help
trees, well, a town planner, I mean, you could just, if I just had a map of town property in Harwich, we could drive around and look at it. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, you just look to see if it's covered with trees or not, you know?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you need to know.
as long as
to-
you know, is it
To whom
Harwich?
does it belong?
Well, that's why I want to stick with municipal property.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
land that the town already owns. Because I don't think it would be a big deal for the town to say, well, we're going to switch this over here.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
we're not going to have the as of right here, we're going to stick it over here.
Right.
We still have it, it's just
Yeah,
in a slightly
yeah,
different
yeah, yeah,
location.
yeah.
So somebody would just have to go to that spot and check it out.
Right, okay. So, anyway, so that's what
But-
we're going to do. But I think the point being is that there's no point to have this if it's never going to be used, you know?
No, of course.
So,
I mean,
so I think if we want to do that, and there's starting to be more developers interested in developing these solar farms for the tax credits and the RECs and that type of thing. It's a good investment for them.
Yes.
And then they sell the electricity,
yeah.
but they sell it at a discounted rate because that's not what, they weren't really looking for the electricity, that's just a bonus.
For
of
the time
making-
being.
For the time being. And a lot of these contracts, like with the town, so what the town would do is not sell the land, the town leases the land to the developer for 50 years, whatever, you know? And at the end of the lease, many times the developer just wants to walk away.
Yeah.
They don't want anything back. They've already gotten everything they can get out of that deal. And so they just turn it over to the town, and the town basically owns another solar farm, you know, is how it usually works. But anyway, so I just thought that was interesting. It was interesting to find out that there are some people.
Why did you call Megan Amsler for?
She called me.
She called you?
Yeah,
Why?
because somebody asked her about where can I put a solar farm on the Cape?
Oh.
And so
I
she
see.
called me and said, because
Yeah, yeah.
every town that's a green community has one of these as-of-right properties.
Yeah.
Because that was part of the criteria for becoming a green community. And anyway, some other town will probably get it because they had a better spot, that didn't have any trees.
Right, right.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Look
so,
at the property across the street there. I thought there was they moved it across the street because of the trees.
we'll find out, we're gonna have to look into that. So I'll get back to you. So what is the second Tuesday in January?
The 12th.
January, Thursday, second Thursday.
It's okay, I knew what you meant. So that's our next meeting.
2023. Ooh, 2023.
Yeah, imagine
I know. So I think that the most important thing is for us to focus on the Energy Academy. By then, we'll have, you guys will have some ideas of what.
Well, you need to tell me when we're going to meet, because when we meet,
What are the two dates here that you gave me?
that. What are we talking about?
Meeting with the Climate Collaborative.
HCAN.
HCAM.
I think it's a Monday or a Friday because of members'
Janu-
commitments.
Okay, so January 16th
That's one, and there's
Okay.
another one earlier.
and Friday, January 20th.
You said earlier.
And,
Then I'm wrong.
yeah, both of them are in January.
In January, yeah.
Okay.
But we're meeting.
Can you
on-
make it any of those dates, or you have to check?
What, I have to check, and
Yeah.
it'll be 9 a.m. I think that Monday I could probably do it. But, and I will definitely
back to
get
me.
back to
Yeah.
you, but
Yeah.
let's tentatively say that Monday.
And that's Monday.
But that's
what?
gonna be after our next meeting anyway, so.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's, this meeting, the January, February meeting are gonna have to be pretty much the academy. We're gonna have to,
Okay.
Okay.
and any, other things may come up. I mean,
Right,
if I
but-
hear from Eversource or, that type of thing, we'll definitely talk about that.
Sure.
But we have to be ready for the academy
Academy.
thing.
Mhm.
And that's all I have. Anybody have anything else they wanna bring up?
No,
No.
no.
I asked everything I had in mind.
Okay, so we adjourn at
8.
4:08. Turn.
I
Okay.
think we have air conditioning here.
I know, I'm
I'm
freezing.
freezing.
I'm freezing. Jacqueline, I need a ride home.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And you can just drop me off on Oak Street, because I
No
need
big
to.
deal.
No, I need to.
Charlie,
I need to check
Yes.
my,
we're adjourning the meeting.
Okay,
And
bye.
we will talk to you next month.
next
Okay,
year.
on January 12th,
Yep,
right?
yep. Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
See you
Christmas.
next year.
Happy New Year.
We used to say that.
Bye-bye.
We used to say that going on winter break.
Yep.
See you next year.
Well,